Hello and welcome to an all-new Marvelcast Explosion Network's hub of all things Marvel, a place to talk about everything MCU and beyond, from Avengers Defenders to Contessa Valentina, Allegra Del Fontaine, and Dum Dum Duggan. My name's Ashley Hobley, you're definitely 100% totally trustworthy human podcast host. Joining me today is Ultimate Kieran Marchant.
Is Dum Dum Duggan the writer of the script?
No, he's a Shield.
Damn.
He's a member of Shield.
Seems like an appropriate name.
Yes. We're back here again, talk about the latest episode of Secret Invasion, the penultimate episode, Harvest, directed by Ali Selim, written by Michael Bhim and Brian Tucker. Fury gathers allies. Gravik deals with unrest. Ciaran, was this episode an improvement?
Yes, but only for like one reason, right? Like there is one.
I agree. There is one
reason that this episode was much better. And it's Olivia motherfucking Colman was largely in this episode, and she was amazing.
You know how you could improve the show? You know how they could have made it better? Just make it about Olivia Colman.
Make it about Olivia Colman? Just let her just chew scenery. Fuck.
Yeah.
I died the moment she turned on that car and Stormzy started playing. And I was like, this is
what we're doing?
Like grime, like proper grime. That's awesome that her character likes grime. And I think she had great moments of just fun. They were just fun. Other than her, as I alluded to in the intro, fuck, I hate this script. This script is so bad in terms of the most paint by fucking numbers plot line about body swappers or fucking appearance changes in the fucking world. And then on top of that, by any chance, Ash, right? Other than Loki, right? Do you by any chance remember the original Avengers 2012? Do you know what was like one of like the big sticking points that caused the Avengers to like break up at the time and like almost risk the whole sake of the world before they came back together? Would you remember that? It was over a decade ago. It was
fighting each other. Yeah.
Well, maybe this is why they think this script's going to work. No, it was because Nick Fury was trying to make super weapons so that he could combat space aliens and be able to defend the world himself without relying on heroes and shit. And here we are, 11 years later, and Nick Fury's at it again. And I was like, I think part of me, this entire series has been, okay, maybe there is some backstory payoff here that's gonna kind of redeem some of this shit and make this worth watching. And then for the whole thing to end up being, oh, by the way, this is a problem because Nick Fury made a MacGuffin in the most like sketchy and like stupid way possible, that I would believe from like the Nick Fury of the cartoons or the comic books. But this Samuel L. Jackson Nick Fury, like he has sent scrolls post Endgame to go and collect blood samples and DNA samples from the Battle of Earth to like keep them all bottled up in a formula to potentially use later. Come on, that seems ridiculous to me. And then on top of that, we had the worst superhero finds, well, quote unquote superhero or main character finds their old costume and re jumpsuits up in the fucking world. How inefficient was his whole setup? That each one of those little fucking. I
mean, it was cool.
No, it was not.
It's like,
the only cool bit was that there was
this isn't even there's no dead bodies in this mausoleum. It's all shirts and eye patches.
It's just like, yeah, I've got a whole one for my eye patch. I've got a whole one for a beanie. I've got one for a fucking...
This series is kind of feeling very formulaic. Because, you know, usually this is the point of the series where the hero finally suits up.
Yeah.
You know, in the uniform. So, you know, it makes sense. That's how that ends
makes sense,
the episode.
But, once again, right, I feel like we got potentially a lot of payoff for Nick Fury in this. We got some more moments of tenderness when he shows that he actually does love his wife and he cherishes a lot of that. But I feel like we missed something in the middle. Like, I feel like we've missed an episode where, like, it goes through a lot of what Nick's trauma has been, or it goes through his mental kind of battle between, pulled between the Skrull and the humans, and he resolves that and then suits up because he's motherfucking Nick Fury again, and he's gonna show up and he's gonna do this. I groaned at the whole section that was like, hey, why haven't you called one of your friends to help with this situation? Which I, through most of this episode, was like, these shows don't work because it makes no fucking sense that none of the other superheroes have rocked up and just been like, hey, what the fuck's going on? There's Skrulls attacking the president of the United States. Rhodey, what the fuck are you doing? Like, it just makes no sense. So then to have that moment of being like,
who's really left though? That's the question.
There's got to be people. Right? Fucking Falcon, the Winter Soldier, like anybody from that other fucking
they're in
series
New York
that
dealing
we've
with
had.
racism.
Fucking what? Like it's the fucking Hawkeye. Hawkeye is
he's
like,
retired.
That's the thing, right?
He just got home for Christmas.
Like it's. I just feel like so many questions that there are about this show, they just went to like the blandest possible answer for in the fucking world, and I was just like, this is if it wasn't for this podcast, I would have stopped watching this show already. I think I would have been done after last week.
Yeah. So thanks, Dylan. I agree. Olivia Colman, massive highlight. The thing that turned me off is that the bad guys suddenly just went apeshit crazy, which is another thing that seems to be common in these Marvel shows.
Went off the deep end. All of a sudden,
he went on the deep end, started murdering all his Skrull friends. For no apparent reason other than there was like questioned him.
Do you know what also? You know what undermines Olivia Colman?
What?
That she didn't know that Rhodey was a Skrull.
How would she?
The fucking
she's had no interaction with Rhodey at all this entire season.
No, but she has. She has though, not on screen, but she has because she was referenced in when Rhodey was like
called.
Well, yeah. This I don't know, and she's just.
I think that's fair.
Are you?
She's figuring out all these Skrulls in the SAS.
Are you telling me that like she isn't like she has this Skrull that was her boss? She hasn't interrogated the fuck out of him to get like, okay, who are like the really important fuckers in the world right now that are Skrulls? You need to tell me this because surely how
he might have been Gravik might have been separating all the information.
I don't think that I
compartmentalized.
Oh, and that now you just remind me of even worse. We've been building, like, not building up. Fuck, I hate this show. We've been building up this like new recruit that got turned into one of the officers for like a while. Now.
Gaia's little friend.
Yeah, Gaia's friend. We've been building him up the whole series. I was like, okay,
kind of.
They're building, kind of.
He's been in the background all the time.
He's been in the background the whole time, and he's been a semi-focal point in terms of like how they shoot. They cut to his reactions a lot. So to have him go out the way he does in this episode, and like that whole situation, I was like, oh, that's disappointing.
By
Gravik.
Who's going crazy. Yeah. Reeks of the power brokers from the the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
And like they on just top of there's just people. So much. I hated the fucking backpack shooting scene. Like the Emilia Clarke and I don't know the other actress's name. That shit bewildered me. Because I really liked the scene beforehand, actually. Like, I loved everything beforehand. The interaction between those two, I thought was great. The talk, I loved the talk. I thought the talk was very nice. It was very cool to see Emilia Clarke being very brash and still show these kind of uh, very brash opinions about, oh well, did he love you when you had your real skin on and stuff like that, and
her just calling her out on it.
and her calling her out for it.
I
Like,
meant no
you did,
offense.
Mina. You did. That's what you do. And I thought I love that conversation. But then to follow that up with that scene of the backpacks and the shooting, and like, I don't know. Maybe you try and explain it that like Gaia is trying to hide the fact that she has powers, but at the same time, they straight up like murked everybody in there. So you have, why isn't she displaying what power she has? Like, what? Unless the thing is, right? Unless the lead in is that Emilia Clarke's scroll got the harvest. And that's why they haven't showed any.
Oh, she's getting the harvest. I don't
No.
know.
She's already got the harvest. That
how she got the harvest?
From her dad.
Okay.
I think there is a setup there, because she mentions that the only thing that she pretty much said in scientific terms for the world, the only thing that Gravik got access to was like Groot, and I didn't know what the other term was, or maybe
it was like Groot and like Extremis and
so
whatever.
To that, right? And she only said that Gravik had that, even though her apparent survival from the execution, unless she isn't telling Priscilla, maybe. I don't know.
Why would she just let them shoot at them then, If she's got Captain Marvel's powers, why is she just letting them shoot?
That's the thing. That is the thing, where if it isn't that, then why is she hiding the powers? And if it is that,
well, if her only power is she can't get killed, she just heals super fast.
She just took extremis? That seems a bit boring.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just...
Well, the thing is, with extremis, the thing was that they could shoot out like fire and shit.
Yes.
Yeah. Skrulls don't like fire.
Yeah.
In the comics,
so take extremis then?
Because you can heal super fast, Whatever it takes.
Yes.
I don't know. Let's just run through this episode. We'll find more points. So we start the episode with Fury coming in with President Ritson after he's gravely injured. I was very confused for a second because I forgot he's rescued the president. I'm like, wow, did he go back and rescue Ben Mendelsohn? Are we going to? Is he going to live? And then nope, it's the president. Oh yeah, that's right.
It was.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to spend more time between Nick Fury and the president, but
no,
that quickly got wrapped up and then turned into a very traditional, hey, Mr. President, they're really the bad guys. You should attack them. And the president being like, oh, I don't know about this. I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah. I did love the shot of Nick Fury finding a chair and just sitting in front of the... where he couldn't be like, that was cool. I thought, got my hopes up a little bit. Then Gravik's angry with his operatives. He's angry that Ritson's still alive. Takes out his second in command. And reveals that Fury has hidden Avengers DNA somewhere. And that's what they're really after. So on the phone with Rhodey, Gravik tells him to keep Ritson alive. He's changed plans. And he wants to make sure that they attack the Skrull base, which will instigate a war between Russia and the US. But also puts all the innocent Skrull and innocent human lives in the crosshairs. Actual Rhodey's at risk.
If he's there.
I assume so. Unless they've got more compounds.
Potentially. You'd think so.
Potentially. It turns out the person, Scrody's real name is Rava. So there you go. Then at the hospital, Fury confronts Rhodey, but Rhodey reveals that he has released the footage to every news outlet across the world that Fury killed Maria Hill. Rough. I don't know how Fury comes back from this, other than he comes out and says it's a deep fake. Because it looks like a very big deep fake.
It's the thing is, right, how well known was Maria Hill? Like, was she?
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, it's
Like,
not,
how well known is Maria Hill as a figure?
you would
the
hope
moment-
that she is not a well-known figure,
Exactly,
given she's a
right?
spy
100%. Yeah,
into
you would
spy and
hope-
espionage.
You would hope that she isn't.
Well,
a
actually,
very-
no, because obviously it's like a week or so after the news cycle. So now they've, you know, if
But then-
like an operative overseas died, then that would
Mm.
become like big news for like a
Yeah.
week. And now it's revealed that Nick
Yeah.
Fury, who a lot of people know, killed Maria Hill. That would prove pretty bad. So,
Yeah, I guess so.
meanwhile, Sonia, who is Olivia, I didn't realize Olivia Colman's character, visits Director Weatherby, wanting to find Dr. Dalton, and wants to find him as quickly as possible. So she shoots him in the hand
So-
/ leg.
One thing I'd like to know: how did
Yeah.
she know them?
She just sussed, she could smell it. I don't know.
Uh,
He wasn't the first Skrull she's treated like that.
like, did she just walk in there and just? What if she shot
It's
him?
like every
and
other office on the way in.
Yeah,
It's
she
just
shot a
random
bunch of-
people with gunshot
That's
wounds.
It would have been so much funnier, and they weren't going for funny. But all those people that run into the office after her, like to check what she shot, are all limping as well. Like they're all like clutching their legs and limping or clutching their hands. It was, I just
Yeah, there's just a row of people with like knife wounds.
yeah. Jeez, we need to change the Reaper meme where the Reaper's going to different doors killing everybody to Olivia Colman.
But yeah, I love the line. The SAS doesn't have a current policy on killing Skrulls, but I would if you don't tell me what I want to know, I'll use my preferred method.
Mm-hmm. Give me a second.
She delivered it much better than I just did, but yeah, Olivia Colman, what a great start. Yeah, back at New Skrullis, Beto and others attack Gravik, trying to kill him. He overpowers them in his Skrull form and kills Beto. Again, this was kind of out of nowhere.
I saw the guy get cut at one point to the guy behind him picking up the sledgehammer. I was like, oh, okay, what's going on here?
It's like
Bit of-
sledgehammer. Then they were trying to suffocate him. I assume none of them knew he was kind of immortal.
Well, maybe extremist doesn't stop a suffocation.
Maybe not. Snuffs
Maybe
out that
that's
fire.
why they were going for suffocation.
Yeah.
Maybe you can't. I don't know, but it's. Yeah, it was. It was kind of dumb. It kind of leads further to the fact of okay. I guess answering my own thing of being like, okay, why are all these Skrulls staying here then? And then it's like, okay, where else do they have to go? Like, they don't want to go anywhere else. They like living there.
I mean, yeah, they completely screwed this character over. He was cool. He was the general. He seemed to be in control of everything, and now he's like a raging maniac. So
yeah.
very disappointing in that regard. Then we cut to Fury heading to the safe house in Brixton, where Gaia is waiting for him. Of course, this is the room that we saw in the flashback to 1996.
Yeah, where he first met
where they
Gravik.
first met Gravik. He tells the story of how a bunch of West Indian refugees would stay here. She's like, my dad's dead. What the fuck? Died here on this shitty planet. No home. And just an Australian face.
Very Australian.
So Fury sends her to go visit Priscilla, who'll know what to do with Ben Mendelsohn's body, which apparently she could easily get, even though it was
he already
left
had
at the site of a presidential attack.
He already had it.
He already claimed it? Okay.
Yeah, so the line
Also,
was
how did that?
here, take the car's heat, you can take him to take him to Priscilla, as if to suggest he was already in the back of the car. Somehow. Somehow. Was in the
Connections.
back of the car already. Don't
look
question
into it
that
too
too much because, government would definitely give up an alien body that was to do with an attack on a president. Yep.
Then Sonia visits Dr. Dalton.
Actually,
questions her about the shooting.
sorry. Before you go any further, I'd like to nominate for the single worst bit of acting in this whole fucking series so far, Samuel L. Jackson's reaction to the police turning up. He was just like, oh crap.
Oh crap.
Oh crap. Like, no
Yeah.
surprise in his voice. Like, he was just like he was reading the line off
You
a
knew
piece
they're
of
coming.
paper. I don't think, because you wouldn't even say oh crap if you knew they were coming. It was just bad. Just very bad.
Yeah.
Sorry,
He's
carry on.
feigning. Sonia finds Dr. Dalton and questions her about the machine. As they're torching the laboratory and about to take Dalton away for questioning, her Skrull handler holds her hostage. Olivia Colman just flat out shoots him in the head. Says, in our species, the males usually gaslight the females. That's what and kill them. That's what all the podcasts are about.
I was like, you know what? Somebody knew what's up when they were writing. Either somebody knew what's up when they were writing these lines, or Olivia Colman knows what's up, and she has.
She's.
Either
she's the best written character in this show, or Olivia Colman is just.
She has to be highly involved in her writing, right? Like, she has to be either looking at the
She's
script
got a fair amount of pull.
Yeah, looking at the script and
something.
be like, that's fucking terrible. We're changing this. And or adding your own spin.
She's got like a background in doing comedies and sitcoms and stuff. So
she's a writer herself. Like, it's very much. She was. I think she even assisted on. Was it Broadchurch she was in with David Tennant? Like,
I think so.
She did some running
right.
credits for that as well. I think. You could tell that somebody who knows what's going on, or at least that gives a fuck enough, or is enjoying her time enough to like put in emphasis into the role, is like, because like even her lines, I can't imagine any other actor doing those. Like, it just feels her in every interaction. It's almost like, oh no, I'm not going. No, I'm good. I don't need to make that comparison. That's a Harry Potter comparison I don't want to make.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So then we cut to the hospital. Oh, yeah. Rhodey is talking to Ritson, the president, with the evidence about the Skrulls. Using a shot of Talos as, evidence. Even though, he saw Talos, like, saving him, we assume. And he wants Ritson to strike now and start World War III. Gravik then calls Fury and tells him he'll call off the war if Fury delivers the harvest to him. Fury then boards a plane to Finland. We're greeted by Rick Mason, played by Oti Fagmanel, who people would definitely remember from Black Widow.
Yeah.
The prequel movie set after the events of Civil War, before Endgame.
Released after Endgame.
10 years before this.
Yeah. Can I also say, going back a step, why the fuck has nobody, including the president, been like, hey, Rhodey, during that whole attack thing, right? What were you doing? Because you look completely fine. Like, you look like you've got no injuries whatsoever.
Where's your super suit?
Where is the Iron Patriot? Like, where is War Machine? What's going on here?
Yeah. So Fury wishes he had a helicar instead of a plane, but apparently they're all in mothballs. And then this Rick dude says that Nick Fury should be in mothballs too, and he's not wrong, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So Vara and Gaia lay Talos to rest. Giving him a funeral, talking about their feelings. Before they're inevitably attacked. Fury uses the Widow's Veil to get through the airport. Remember the Widow's Veil?
It's just
the Mission Impossible ripoff.
Yeah, it's just Mission Impossible shit. And apparently the new Widow's Veil does your whole body.
Yep. So Sonya picks him up. It's pretty great.
Playing Storm.
Great car ride.
Will say though, he is very confident that she's not a Skrull, because I was waiting for maybe a large part of that conversation, or afterwards, or after he like pulled out the harvest, for her to be a Skrull.
No.
Which I'm glad she
Not
wasn't.
after she's been shooting a bunch of Skrulls.
That's
It's
true.
like none of them were like, "What the fuck? You're a Skrull too."
No. But like, as in like, a different Skrull has replaced it in that time, or whatever. Like, I don't know. But it was. It also, I felt very weird how open Fury was.
Oh, Fury was super open with her.
Was like how
I would
open...
be. I would just divulge everything to Olivia Colman.
Look, you would, but would Nick Fury? This is the man that is secrets for secrets. He has multiple gravestones everywhere.
Yep. Fury explains that nearly every Avenger spilled blood in the Battle of Earth, including Carol Danvers. He sent some Skrulls in to collect that DNA, including Gravik, and that's what they're after. I don't actually remember Carol being hit enough to bleed. She's pretty
unless she got maybe she got cut when she got nicked. Flew through that spaceship.
That's true,
because she did fly through a spaceship. So
I mean, how do you separate the blood? I mean, how can you tell whose blood's whose?
Well, that's the thing, right? They've got one.
It's like
vial.
They pull out this vial. Turns out it's Ant-Man's blood. It's like, this is useless.
Like it's like the Winter Soldier's blood, which I guess Winter Soldier's blood's semi-useful because he's got a version of the Super Soldier serum. But
not super useful for a Skrull. They're pretty strong.
Yeah, it feels very weird that there is just one vial. It's not just they're not just going to inject somebody. I mean, it's not going to mutate into this thing that's going to kill me, as it looks like it's just a devoid version of everything smushed together. They've got Falcon's blood in there, they've as we have seen in many comic books, straight up just trying to use the blood of somebody, especially say Spider-Man, trying to use that blood doesn't work out very well.
That vial did not look like blood at all. So
no, it was clear. It was like a murky,
it looked
clear,
empty.
Liquid. Yes, it did.
Yes. So the vial was inside one of Nick Fury's graves. He goes into a crypt and suits up, puts the eye patch back on, puts in the big long leather coat on, and walks off.
Sorry, you forgot the most important and key part of his outfit: a maroon beanie.
That's true.
Yeah.
The classic, iconic maroon beanie.
Maroon beanie that he has wore in all of the Avengers movies where he was outfitted like that.
Mm.
Also, weird time to suit up with your eye patch and everything when we saw the Interpol printout has a picture of him.
This guy's only got one eye. That's why. That's how he's going to get through customs.
But it's got a picture of him with the eye patch. It was an old 2012 picture of Nick Fury in his in his Shield outfit, which is sure. So you're going to dress up now like it? Okay.
Yeah, he does. Is at the end of his road. Ciaran, what happens to the finale of Secret Invasion?
I don't fucking know. I don't look. If this had been good, right? If this had been good, and if this had been interesting whatsoever, and the Skrulls were well done, I would hope this would end very open-endedly. So for the foreseeable phase of the MCU, we question who the fuck's a Skrull ongoing. Because that was kind of the thing that we alluded to being excited about before this show and talking about Secret Invasion, was how cool it was across that comic book arc of when you're looking at different comic books, different characters could be a Skrull and you didn't know, and it was slowly revealed and it was pointed out. The fact that the one semi-important MCU character or superhero in this show is a Skrull, it's just done so poorly and with so many plot holes and like empty questions, it just doesn't excite me. But at the same time, I don't really want Nick Fury to be able to wrap it up by himself. I feel like having him like after coming out with this thing where it's like, oh, it was his fault the whole time. He was the one that started that came up with the harvest idea, yada yada yada. Like, I don't want him to.
You know what's weird about the harvest thing is that he did that after Endgame, and he's like, "Nah, I'm going. Leave the planet."
No, he was already gone.
So he did it while he was away.
I think he did. No, because he must have blipped. Nah, because he blipped.
No, because the Battle of Earth happened post the blip. So he's just come back to Earth. All the heroes are fighting Thanos and that ever. He's like, "Oh, I'm in New York City without my pager anymore. What's happening?" And then he sees that fight and he's like, he's at that funeral at the end of Endgame, standing there.
Has to happen
at the
before
memorial
then,
of Tony
right?
Stark. No, and then he's thinking they all spilled a bunch of blood at that battle. I need to get all that.
It has to have been before the funeral, right? It has to have been like pretty much
Probably,
immediately after the battle. He had to be like, "Hey, homie, Skrulls, what's crack-a-lacking?
I need my forensic cleaners out there.
Come
clean
down
up all this blood
where nobody knows and do some sus shit by picking up blood, eh?"
And then label it all, please.
Well, no. We're just gonna put it. No. We're just gonna put it in one. We're just gonna put it in one vial,
in one bucket, yeah.
In one bucket, and just mix it up and shake it up. I don't know how this ends. I feel this is gonna. You know what's gonna be the shit thing? I reckon.
Mm-hmm.
This ends and it wraps itself up in a way that changes nothing for the MCU as a whole.
It's going to be a good and a bad thing at the same time.
Like it's gonna.
It's good that we won't have to watch this.
Yes, right, but it's gonna be like we're gonna sit here and be like we've wasted our time because I bet Nick Fury's gonna end up back on the mothership or wherever the fuck the rest of the Skrulls were, going back to looking for a new home planet for the Skrulls or doing whatever the fuck he was doing last time prior to that.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they're going to storm the base. He's going to fight Gravik. Rhodey's going to be saved. Rhodey's going to fight Rhodey. That's probably going to be a shot that you want to see. And Gaia's going to be the new savior of the Skrulls, and they're just going to leave Earth, maybe. Like, nah, there's nothing here for us. Let's go. Put us on your sword space, your saber spaceship. Send us somewhere else. Yeah. As long as Olivia Colman lives, so she can be in something better.
Look, that's the thing, right? Get Olivia Colman in fucking everything. Just like I would almost love for her to be in the Countess's role. To like just strip
if she's
the
in the Thunderbolts,
away,
that'd be cool.
Just strip the Countess away. Make her the Marvel Universe's version of Amanda Waller. Like, make her that version. And, like, make this dynamic between her and... I actually think she's going to betray Fury. She's going to betray Fury in this. Ooh. Because I think they had a very nice moment.
Yeah, I could see that, like, but not, like, directly.
Not directly, but, like I feel like they had this very nice soft moment of Nick revealing, very openly, once again, revealing that his wife is a Skrull.
Yeah.
And I think that is both a nice thing, but at the same time, I hope that creates a divide with her that's like, oh, so are you ever really giving a fuck about humans? Like, are you ever...
It's like, oh, I know what side you're on.
Like, you're compromised. You're never going to do what's right for humanity because you're always worried about
I could totally see Olivia Colman killing his wife.
Yes. Oh, yes. I want this. Oh, yes, Ashley. Yes. I 100%. I want this to. No, the thing is, killing their wife immediately. Like, I want there to be this kind of rivalry or like this.
He
against-
shoots her. No, the last shot is Olivia Colman shoots her, and then like Stormzy plays.
Then Stormzy plays. No, I feel like that'd be bad. No,
Over the credits. Yeah,
I almost want this Professor Xavier Magneto dynamic between them, where they're directly imposed in what they feel like, but they have this mutual respect and friendship, where they're like, I understand what you're doing and understand why you're doing it. I fucking disagree though, and I want that to be the dynamic between them, because even just that moment in the car with Stormzy playing, and like, even though it was unfounded in the reasoning why it happened, like Nick opening up to her kind of shows a lot of there is something deeper there, or there is more of a connection between the two of them as mutual respect than Nick Fury probably has with a lot of people around the world.
All right. Let us know what you think is going to happen in the season finale of Secret Invasion by going to explosion.com/Twitter, or just find us at Explosion Pod on different social medias, or go to our Discord at explosion.com/Discord. If you want to help us out here at All New Marvelcast, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or on Podchaser. Tell people about the show, or leave us 5 stars. Anyone can leave 5 stars. And if you've enjoyed these after shows, breaking down each episode of Secret Invasion, and you think it's worth $1, head over to our Ko page at explosion.com/supports. Make sure you're here next week for the season finale of Secret Invasion, and join us for another All New Marvelcast.
Do you reckon we just neither of us turn up next week and we just make Dylan do the podcast by himself?
I kind of want to see how it ends.
Yeah. Well, yeah, okay.
It's totally gonna, just say it now. They're gonna set up the Armor War thing with Rhodey next week. His TV show.
No, they can't set up his thing with us. Actually, you know what? I hadn't even thought about Armor Wars. This is fucking dumb. I hadn't even thought about that. That makes that even fucking
they rescue the
worse.
real Rhodey, and then Rhodey's like, what the fuck have they been doing with Tony Suits? And that's how Armor Wars happens.
Yeah,
He didn't get blipped, but he's been blipped for however long he's been a Skrull. Unless it was taken before, but oh man. That's the one question that needs to be answered. When was Rhodey taken?
I feel like we'll get that either in Armored Wars or next week.
It better.
It'd be really... If they hadn't done Rhodey the way they've done him, it'd be really cool to have a Skrull in a position of power and also be a prominent MCU character for an extended period of time.
Yeah, let's end it there.
Yeah. Oh my god, we were still going?